Hello everybody, and thank you all for watching. This is A Day in the Parks, the series in which I pick one of the many recreations in Minecraft of the various of the various Disney parks around the world, and I explore them a bit, I ride the rides, I have some fun, and then I talk about something Disney related. This week, I would like to talk about Thanksgiving. Now, if you're not in the States, you're probably not celebrating it this week, but to anybody in the US, Thanksgiving is this week. I don't know if I'm putting this up on Monday or Wednesday, but either way, we're just days away from Thanksgiving, and I wanted to make a video to talk about some of the things that I'm thankful for, because I was raised with like this deep understanding that no matter what, there's always something for someone to be thankful for, even when things are going against them. And you know, being raised, my mom was very much against the idea of doing Christmas shopping on Thanksgiving, or like, you know, all these people trampling each other on Black Friday, because in her mind, she said anybody in the U.S. They should be celebrating Thanksgiving. You know, in her mind, you know, it's not a religious holiday. It's not necessarily, you know, while it is a U.S. holiday on a specific date, it's not a nationalistic holiday in that you have to be American to be thankful for something. Her outlook was, you know, there was always something to be thankful for, and so you should always take the day to think about the things you are thankful for. And so that's what I try to do on Thanksgiving. Think about all the things. I mean, as we all know, it's been a very turbulent year, so sometimes it might feel hard to think that there is something to be thankful for, but I think there is. And reflecting on myself, I feel like there are a lot of things to be thankful for, and I wanted to talk about them, and, you know, maybe talk a little bit about Disney on this too, and then ask you guys what you're thankful for, because I always love hearing from you guys watching. So we're gonna go here we're in Tomorrowland. I am on Magical Dreams. We're in Disneyland. I figured I'd mix things up. I've done the last few videos on MC Magic, and for some reason I'm in a Disneyland mood more and more. The more I learn about the park, the more I love it. Going that one time has really made me want to go back. I want to go back at some point in 2017. Let's find a ride to hop on, and then we'll go ride. Yeah, let's go to the Matterhorn. Why not? Yeah, let's go to the Matterhorn. So like I said, I wanted to talk a little bit about things I'm thankful for, and I feel like you could consider all the different categories of life. I have something that I'm thankful for. I mean, on the basic level, I'm thankful that in today's world, I am lucky enough to have a job that allows me to have a roof over my head and food on the table, and, you know, in a world where many people have to worry about things like healthcare or whether or not they're going to be able to feed themselves or pay the next month's rent, I am in a position where luckily I don't have to worry about that. I have a job that my day job is an office job. It's nothing that I'm in love with, but it is nothing I hate either. It's a pretty decent job, and it allows me to do this, which is really nice. Let's jump in the queue here. And so I'm very thankful for that, especially because job markets can be pretty volatile. I know friends who have gone through periods where they were in between jobs and they couldn't find something they liked, or the worst part is, you know, maybe they could find a job, but it was a job they hated, but they needed to do it because, you know, they needed to pay the bills, and that's never a great situation to be in. So I'm very thankful for that. So I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful that I have a roof over my head. This New York City is not a cheap city to live in. And I've never really had problems with that, so I'm thankful for that. I'm thankful for all the people in my life. Not just the people I know, but even the people I don't know. You know, I'm thankful for all of my friends and my family, and I'm thankful for Kat, my girlfriend, who, you know, this year moved in with me, and we've been living together, and it's been a really great, fun time. It's been like a cool growing and learning experience as an adult. We've gotten to go to Disney a couple of times together, which was really fun because it allowed me to enjoy the parks in a different way that I had never done before, because I'd always gone just with friends or with family. But like I said, I'm also grateful for the people who I might not personally know, by which I mean all of you guys. This hobby has been so incredibly rewarding in so many ways. I'm going to try and figure out what's going on with the Matterhorn here. Here we go. Okay. When I started this hobby, it was in a weird way, sort of not my own decision. Like, I had done a Let's Play for this company called Howcasts of Minecraft, and it went okay. It was like a middle-of-the-road Minecraft Let's Play, pretty standard. I didn't do anything interesting with it. And then it ended after about a year, and I was done at that point. Like, I wasn't going to be making any more videos or doing anything like that, and all of the fans who watched asked me to make more videos. And so I eventually conceded and was like, okay, well, I guess I'll go ahead and I'll make a channel, and I'll do it on my own, and it'll be fun because I'll be my own boss, and, you know, it seems like there are people there who want it. And after a couple of months of doing that, I eventually started making MC Magic videos, and, like, the rest is history. And I think going into it, once it started growing, I had that same sort of ambition that I think a lot of aspiring YouTubers have when they do it, which is like, ooh, like this idea of, you know, they talk about YouTube rich. I mean, that's nice, but that's a very long shot, you know, and it takes a lot of luck to become somebody like PewDiePie or Markiplier. But just that idea of, like, the internet fame and the ego stroking seemed very glamorous. But honestly, what ended up being the most rewarding parts of this hobby, because I'd say, even though I've grown quite a bit since those years, I'm still not, like, a big YouTuber by any stretch. The people who have found the channel and become part of this community, I never in a million years would have expected it, because I had known YouTube to be like this vile, you know, website where it was like a perfect example of all of the worst things you could imagine about the internet. And yet, month after month, you know, every time I hit a new milestone, the next 1,000 subscribers, like, the community just kept getting better and better. And even today, it's still amazing and continues to, on a daily basis, blow my mind, because it is not what you would expect out of the internet. And I am so very thankful for that. You guys are so awesome, and you make this hobby just, like, completely worth it. You know, I work a 9-to-5 job. I commute about 2 hours every day into the city and out of it again. That's total, not each way. That'd be crazy. So, you know, free time isn't something I have a ton of. And there are plenty of days where I'm like, why am I spending my free time working? Like, I come home and then I work more. And the answer is honestly, you guys. You guys make it all worth it. This is so much fun to do because I know you guys enjoy this stuff. And for that, I am super grateful, because, like I said, you know, I'm okay with my job, but I don't love it. And when you reach the age I am, which is just like late 20s, or, you know, people talk about their quarter life crisis, there is so much value in finding meaning in what you do. And I know people who sometimes feel lost because, you know, even if they have a job and everything's doing fine, they don't have a passion to chase, and to not have that passion could really mess with your head. And luckily, I don't have to worry about that, because this is my passion and I get to chase it every day, and you guys make that possible. So I'm super thankful for that. And I realize I'm just rambling on and on about all the things that I am grateful for, but I really am. And I don't think or at least I hope I don't just wait for Thanksgiving to reflect on this sort of stuff. I try to remind myself this on a regular basis. On a more, I guess, comedic level, I'm super thankful for Disney. I'm glad if Disney wasn't around, I really wouldn't have anything to do on this YouTube channel. I'm thankful for all the movies they make and all the great memories that they've created. What do we got on here? Looks like Pirates is under construction. Well, we could just walk around and see what it's like. I always like that I can now distinctively tell the difference between, like, the Disneyland areas and the Disney World areas. Oh, please tell me the Haunted Mansion's open. That'd be awesome. Although I think I rode that last time, so maybe we'll walk past it and see what else there is. I'm thankful that I get to go on vacations with my friends. that's going to be really fun. I'm super excited for January. We're getting closer and closer. We're right about the 60-day mark now, and I'll be going with friends whom have been to Disney before, and we're going to get to have fun going on yet another trip. And I have friends who will have never been to Disney before, and this will be their first time. And then I'll get to actually show them Disney, and they'll get to see why I have this passion for this place that, let me tell you, from a lot of adults, it seems like a weird thing to do. So that's going to be a blast. And I guess I'm also thankful for Teespring, because they just today delivered all of the Disney t-shirts that I sort of splurged on and bought myself. I had like this whole list of Disney t-shirts that I wanted. And my plan was I wanted to buy them like one paycheck at a time, get one t-shirt, so that by the time Disney rolled around in January, I'd have a Disney shirt for every day. Because as much of a Disney fan as I am, I actually don't have a lot of Disney shirts. And so I found a bunch of them. I tend to really like the fan-created stuff more than the official Disney stuff, just because I think it's a little more creative and a little more subtle. And suddenly one day I woke up on the weekend and they were doing like a big sale. And so all these Teespring shirts were like 20% off or however much it was off. And I thought to myself, well, okay, I could just buy one at a time, but I'm going to be buying most of them at full price. Or I could just go ahead and buy them all now. And so that's what I did. And I bought them all. It was 5 t-shirts. I got Space Mountain Exploration Company t-shirt that looks really cool. I got the Matterhorn Exploration Company t-shirt that's cool. I got 2 Horizon shirts, one that's just the logo of Horizons, and one is like those band shirts that I know are cliche at this point, and you know, where it lists out all their names just like in a plain font, but it's all of the locations from Horizons. I thought that was pretty cool. Did I get lost trying to go to Adventureland? Or are we just headed back down Main Street? I have a Jungle Cruise, AWOL Airwaves radio t-shirt. And then I totally blanked out on the other ones. No, I think there's one left, but I don't. Oh, I got a Rocketeer t-shirt. Duh. And it's like this cool logo of the Rocketeer, so you'll see me sporting them in all the Disney vlogs. Let's go on another ride. We gotta go on. We haven't been on enough rides. Let's go on one more ride. Let's go on Indiana Jones. Yeah. What else am I thankful for? I'm thankful for my health. I'm not, the perfect picture of health. And it's something that I'm always trying to improve upon and get to the gym and work on. Oh, no, they're still working on it. Oh, man, what can we do? What can we go ride? But that said, I still have my health. I don't have any serious health issues. That's something to be grateful for. Allergies can be annoying, and for some people, they can be a serious health issue, but luckily for me, they're just more of an annoyance. So I'm pretty grateful for that. And I'm just grateful for my friendships. It's funny. I hear a lot of people who talk about how once they finish high school, they never really see their friends from high school again, or, they'll see them every so often. It's really friends after that they keep and stick around with. But for me, that's completely the opposite. My friends, my best friends, are my friends from high school or before. People like Christine, whom I've known since the 4th grade, or my buddy Steve and Laura and Ed, and these are people who I know since freshman year of high school, which is now over 10 years ago. In fact, I think it's even further. Yeah, I think we're coming up on 15 years. Oh my gosh, that's so crazy to think about. I just remember I was reaching a point where the milestone was we know each other longer, for longer of our life than we don't know each other, which is crazy. And those friendships are really great, and I'm very grateful for those. What else am I thankful for? I'm thankful for so many things. Big things and little things. And I think that was the thing that my mom tried to raise me to believe, is that, it doesn't have to be an amazing... there are going to be people out there who don't have that same luck with, like, their job or their friend situation or things like that, but that doesn't mean there aren't little things to be thankful about. I try and think about that every day, try to find something to be grateful for, whether it's, like, having a good meal, or, getting to work relatively on time, or, something like that. I would love to hear what you guys are thankful for this year, whether you're celebrating Thanksgiving or you're not. I mean, that's the key there, is like, you don't have to be celebrating Thanksgiving to be thankful for things in your life. So let me know in the comments below. Maybe I'll read a few of them out. In the last day in the parks, I talked about and professed my love of Horizons. And I asked people what they thought about that. And some of the replies we have are like, from John, who says, if you haven't already, see Martin's Ultimate Tribute on Horizons. It's really great. And it is really great. And you should check that out. It's like a really long, well, tribute to Horizons. You have Memethist, who says, I wish I could have rode Horizons. I wish you could have ridden it as well. It was a really great ride. Connor Hinson says, I rode this when I was a wee lad. Unfortunately, I don't remember anything, but sounds like a great ride. You are, yep, it is a great ride. Let's see. A Spoonful of Disney says, this is my favorite video that you've ever done, if not on YouTube. I'm so passionate about Horizons as it's my favorite attraction. That's awesome. Just a lot of great replies. I wish everybody could experience Horizons, and I plan to do a whole video on the topic of Walt Disney World and virtual tourism through things such as this, Minecraft, or virtual reality, things like that. And I really do believe that one of the amazing things that the world can have, if the powers that be deem it to be the case, is a trip back in time to enjoy some of these old closed attractions. You know, I think one of the most common questions I get, or comments that I get, is, you know, would you want to see a park that's dedicated to old attractions that are closed down? And my answer is always no. Like, whenever it's like there's rumors that there's going to be a park all about closed attractions, the answer is no. When they ask me if I want it, the answer is no. Because at the end of the day, you know, Disney isn't in the habit of getting rid of attractions that they think will do well. It's the ones that they think are due for a change. And so it would make very little sense to bring those back. All you'd get is a park full of rides that essentially most of the public doesn't want to ride anymore, even though we, the hardcore fans, would love to ride them for nostalgia or history or something like that. But I do think there's a place where we can experience those things. And I think virtual reality or virtual spaces such as this one are a perfect example of that, because it doesn't take away from the uniqueness of going to Disney on vacation, yet it offers something that you just couldn't get in person. They're both mutually exclusive. Maybe mutually exclusive is not the word I'm thinking of, but they're both unique enough so that they stand on their own, and they don't they don't cannibalize each other. And so, as much as I love Horizons, I think that was the topic we were starting with here, I wouldn't like to see it coming back. I would love to see it in some sort of digital form, and there does exist a way, digital form. Disney Kid 93 over on MC Magic recreated Horizons on the creative server, and I haven't highlighted it yet, but I'm hoping to sometime next month. It was really cool. It was like riding down memory lane, so to speak. Anyway, I feel like I've rambled on just long enough. If you are in the States and you're celebrating, I hope you have the greatest week ever. I hope if you do decide to do some Black Friday shopping, you stay safe. Every year you get videos of people like trampling each other and fighting each other over some item. And let me tell you, there's nothing in any store that's worth that. That's worth stepping over another person or fighting another person. It's all just things at the end of the day. And it's 2016, and you can just do it on the internet anyway. So stay safe. Enjoy your days off if you're off from school. Enjoy your days off if you're off from work. Have a blast. I'm going to take this one moment. Well, before I say that, if you're not celebrating Thanksgiving because you're not in the U.S., have a great week anyway. You know, and again, take a moment this week to think about something you're thankful for, because you don't have to be in the States or celebrating Thanksgiving to do that. And it's a good way to lift your spirits. I'm going to take the moment here now to plug an event coming up. So on Saturday, December 3rd, Steve, Christine, and myself will be hosting our 4th annual Extra Life Marathon. It's a 24-hour live stream that I'll be hosting on Twitch, in which we'll be playing games of all types: board games, computer games, console games. And we do this every year to raise money for children's hospitals across the country for Extra Life, which is an organization that's been doing this for many years now. And so, like I said, we've done this 3 years in the past. This will be our 4th year. It's very fun when we do it. It's not very Disney related. I understand, you all come here for Disney. This isn't super Disney related. What we do try to do is set aside about an hour every year, sometime, usually a prime time, like, 6, 7 o'clock at night when people are awake and online, to do a live Disney Q&A with Christine and I. So, if anything else, you should tune in just for that. I'll try and have links in the description below, both to my Twitch page where you can find the stream, and to the donation page where, if you are so kind and would like to donate to our cause, we're trying to raise $1,000 for children's hospitals. I picked one in Florida, the Sacred Heart Children's Hospital. I think it's in Pensacola. And we're going to be playing, bunch of cool games. Party games were really popular last year, things like Quiplash, so we're going to be doing more of that stuff. Telltale has its party video game mode for the Batman game that came out, so we're going to be going through that, where like you all watching get to vote on what we do in the game, so that should be a blast. It starts at noon and then goes all the way until noon the following day. And the only warning that I like to give is that this channel is 100% family friendly, because Disney content, I see no reason to make it anything but family friendly. However, we're playing video games of all types, and that includes violent video games, graphic video games. We're streaming unedited for 24 hours, so sometimes the language isn't completely family friendly. It's not like it's a raunchy stream, but it slips, and I think there are people who watch out for that stuff, so I just want to throw the warning there. Also, really impressed with this. Holy moly, I don't think I've ridden this version of this before, but look at the little turtles and everything. This is awesome. Anyway, have a great week. If you want to see more videos like this, all you have to do is hit that subscribe button. I do 3 a week. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you all next time for the next Day in the Parks. Bye, everybody.